I met her in a storm, not a metaphorical one. A real, godless thunderstorm that turned the sky into a crime scene and the streetlights into witnesses. It was 2:13 a.m. I was drunk. Not fall down drunk, just numb enough to walk home in the rain because I didn't want to share a taxi with anyone. Too much noise, too much people. Then I saw her, standing under the awning of a 24-hour laundromat. Soaked, barefoot, no phone, no bag, no umbrella. Just a white dress clinging to her like it was begging for answers. She wasn't crying, she was smiling, and that's what stopped me. "Are you okay?" I asked. She turned, tilted her head. "You ever felt like a ghost in your own life?" I blinked, didn't answer. She laughed. "Sorry. I say weird things when I'm wet." "Where are your shoes?" She looked down. "They didn't deserve me." I Sholdvi walked away. Sholdvi called her an Uber and kept going. Instead, I said, "There's a diner 2 blocks from here. Warm coffee, dry boots." She stared at me like she was trying to read the rest of my life before agreeing. "Lead the way," she said. Her name was Sira. At least, that's what she told me. She had no id. Said she lost her wallet last week, and that ever since, the universe had been testing her ability to improvise. She had the kind of voice that sounded like a song you forgot you loved. Low, warm, a little smoky, like truth wrapped in velvet. She asked me 37 questions in the first hour. Have you ever been in love? Do you believe people can change? If I vanished tomorrow, would you come looking? I answered honestly, which is probably why she chose me. We became inseparable. She moved into my apartment 3 weeks later. No furniture, just a stack of journals, a toothbrush, and a Polaroid camera. She said she was a writer, a poet, a documentarian of emotional crimes. "I collect feelings," she told me once, "especially the illegal ones." I never saw her write a single poem, but I felt like one around her. The first red flag was so small I almost missed it. She asked for the password to my laptop, in case she wanted to make us a playlist. Harmless. Until I checked my browsing history, and found she'd searched my name. Not just my name. Old usernames, school records, court databases. When I confronted her, she didn't flinch. "I just wanted to make sure you weren't like the others." "What others?" She smiled. "The ones who lie about who they are." Things got stranger. Some mornings I'd wake up and she'd be gone. No note, no text, just a photo on the kitchen table. Always a Polaroid, always of me sleeping. One time, she wrote on the back, "You look like someone who keeps secrets in his bones." When I asked where she'd been, she said, "Nowhere important. Just checking the exits." My friends hated her, said she was dangerous. But she made me feel like the main character in a movie that had forgotten its plot and was better for it. Said she looked through them instead of at them. She said love wasn't supposed to be safe. It was supposed to be a dare. And I'd never been brave before. So I stayed. Even when she whispered names in her sleep that weren't mine. Even when she asked me to help dye her hair, just in case someone was looking. Even when I found a second phone, hidden in the back of her dresser, and it had no contacts, just one voicemail. Her voice, saying, "If you're hearing this, it means I had to leave. Again. Don't follow me this time." I didn't confront her about the phone, not directly. Instead, I asked, "Is there anything you need to tell me?" She looked up from her cereal like I'd asked her to identify a body. "About what?" "I don't know. You tell me." She smiled, not a nervous smile, not guilty, something worse, amused. "You're starting to sound like the others." I wanted to ask who they were, these mysterious others who'd apparently failed her. But I didn't, because some answers rot you from the inside. A week later, she disappeared, just like that. I came home to an empty apartment, the door unlocked, windows open, wind moving the curtains like fingers searching for someone who'd already gone. No note, no text, just a single Polaroid, taped to the fridge. It was a photo of the two of us, but half her face was torn out. On the back, "Thank you for not being boring." I didn't sleep that night. Didn't eat for 2 days. Reported her missing on the 3rd, but when the police ran her name, it came up blank. No id, no driver's license, no birth certificate. Sira wasn't anyone. They asked me if I was sure she existed. I showed them photos, but they didn't care, because people like her don't vanish. They evaporate. I started digging, checked the other phone again, and found a saved voicemail that hadn't been there before. No Time-stamped after she left. Her voice, calm, measured. You probably hate me. That's okay. Hate keeps people honest. I almost didn't go. But obsession has a way of dressing itself up as closure. So I went. 312 Riverside was a bookstore. Underground. Dim. The kind of place that smelled like secrets and pages nobody was meant to read. I asked for Echo. The woman behind the counter didn't blink. Upstairs, third door on the left. Inside, the room was empty, except for a laptop, already open, already recording. A file played automatically. Sierra, wearing black, hair tied back, face bare, no filter, no smile. Just this, if you're watching this you passed the test. She stared into the camera, eyes steady, unblinking. I know you're angry. I know you think I used you. You're not wrong. But it wasn't personal. It was necessary. She took a breath. You were part of something bigger. I told you I collect feelings. What I didn't say was, I also collect patterns. Pain. The moment people snap. She leaned closer. I study heartbreak. Real heartbreak. The kind that rewires your brain. That makes people dangerous. My chest tightened. What the hell had I been part of? I've done this before, she continued, and I'll do it again. Because there are things people need to understand. About trust, about control, about love. She smiled faintly. You passed the test because you still looked for me. Most don't. Most run. Or break. She reached off screen, came back with a folder. This is everything. My real name, my background, the others. If you want closure, open it. If you want peace, walk away. Either way, you were my favorite. The screen went black. I didn't touch the folder. Not then. I sat in that room for over an hour, sweating, shaking, staring at a blinking cursor. Somewhere between anger and awe. Somewhere between heartbreak and clarity. She wasn't just a person. She was an event. Eventually, I stood up. I took the folder. And I left. I didn't open it. Not that day. Not the next. Not for months. Because deep down, I already knew, nothing in that folder could give me back the pieces of myself she took. Nothing written in ink could explain the damage done in whispers and glances. It's been a year. I've moved twice. Changed my number. Deleted every photo, burned the journals, but I still check the mailbox for Polaroids, still scan crowds for barefoot girls in white dresses, still wonder if I'd pass the test again. The folder, I finally opened it. Inside, dozens of names, photos, notes, locations, all victims. All participants. I wasn't the first, but I was the last. Written on the final page, test complete. Subject developed awareness. Emotional threshold exceeded. Mission terminated. Below it, in her handwriting, you didn't break. You transformed. That's rarer than love. I didn't cry. Didn't smile either. Just closed the folder. Lit a match. Watched the pages curl into ash. And finally whispered, "Goodbye, Sierra," or whatever your name really was. Final monologue. Some storms don't pass. They just take human form. She didn't want love. She wanted an echo, someone to bounce off of, someone to reflect her madness back in a prettier frame. I was that frame, until I cracked. And when I did, she vanished. Because people like her, they're not built for aftermath, only impact. So if you see her, don't chase her. Just whisper her name into the rain, and hope the storm forgets you.